All right, that's all I have to say about that. So let's move into your story.
Well,
So take it away.
I think so my story is, well, thankfully I didn't subject myself to watching this monstrosity. But if you did, there was I think it was last week, there was a town hall, the Alphabet People town hall on, I think it was CNN or MSNBC or something like that, but they had all the Democrat candidates, kowtowing to the Alphabet People, and now in one of the candidates in particular, who will never be president ever, but his ideas are, what the left wants, and it was Beto O'Rourke talking about how he was asked the question, should churches, schools, or organizations who don't support same-sex marriage, like, should they lose their tax-exempt status? And of course he answered, although he doesn't actually believe anything in ever, it's because he's one of the most fake people. But he was saying that, we should, none of these organizations should have any benefits or rewards for this belief, not believing in this or supporting this stuff. And I was like, okay, you're obviously bashing churches and anything Christian, because that was kind of the whole point. I mean, there was a lot of church bashing going on throughout this town hall, and but in my mind I was like, what would happen if they were, because it's not just churches that believe that. You have other religious institutions who do not in any way agree with this homosexuality and stuff like that. If Beta was willing to go to door to door, as we were talking about this today, if he was willing to go door to door to mosques and Islamic temples and stuff, and tell them that they couldn't, they would lose their tax exempt status for not supporting same-sex marriage, there would be riots in the streets from the left, I think.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, absolutely, yeah. And I mean, we also talked, about his, support or advocacy for, gun confiscation, and again, and I made the same, I made this similar to the mosque thing. I said, like, yeah, I'd be I'd only accept that if he personally went to each and every person's house and demanded their guns.
Yeah.
But that's not going to happen, so it doesn't matter. And what is it? During our conversation during the day, when we were talking about this, I had noted that Beto O'Rourke, or Robert Francis O'Rourke, at least that's what his mama calls him. What is it? He's the epitome of the kid that eats worms to get attention in elementary school. Because at this, again, he says like the most idiotic things possible, but I mean demanding that or saying that he's gonna mandate that every law-abiding person hand over their guns, or he's gonna make it illegal for churches not to accept or teach or whatever, or institutions to teach about gay sex and or whatever. It's like, all right, okay, but you have to do all of that yourself. You have to go to each and every door, knock on it and say, please give me your guns. or you have to go to every, you have to go to every, every church, every synagogue, every temple, every mosque, and say like, you guys are homophobes. You need to stop it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous because that's never gonna happen.
Right. And again, like he's one of those people. I mean, I've said it before too. Like, they'll people without belief will always try to use belief against believers. And that's exactly what this they're trying to do. It's like, oh well, I thought Jesus taught about love and acceptance and blah blah blah. And it's like, yes, he did, but he didn't say ever take pride in sin.
Yeah, well, that's same thing. This is listening to everything that was kind of that was said there. It is essentially the serpent in the garden. Where it's like it's not just outright saying trying to outright lying or whatever, but they're manipulating the language just enough where it's like, oh, that sounds right. Yeah, that sounds like something that's the
Right? Yeah,
the
it is.
Bible.
You're exactly right. Because the serpent was like,
And
did God really say that you die if you ate from that tree? Are you sure?
yeah, I mean, and that's what's going on, and the problem is like because there's a lot of Christians who don't actually read their Bible, they don't actually have a good fundamental knowledge. Um, yeah, they're lured in by this, and they end up, um, and that that's I talk about that a lot with my students. Is like you guys have got to like be reading this stuff. Uh, for if not for yourself, like we have to be defenders of the faith. We can't be. There's so many like snakes and wolves that are trying to kill us that you have to know what's going on. You can't be fooled by stuff like this because if I didn't know what I know, if I didn't know the Bible as well as I do, yeah, it all sounds pretty. It's like yeah, that sounds right, and then you end up like falling down this hole that you lose sight of who you are. You lose the way.
Mm-hmm. Right, because like yeah, in like the epistles, Paul talks about sexual immorality. That's not just homosexuality. That's affairs. That's cheating. Um, it's sex out of wedlock. It's all the things. It's not just talking about homosexuality. He said he didn't, and he didn't. I mean, he does, and he also specifies homosexuality, but he also specifies sexual immorality.
Right,
And that
yeah,
covers a multitude, not just homosexuality.
yeah, because it's all the the idea of like having concubines, multiple
Mm-hmm.
wives,
Mm-hmm.
just incest, you name it, like all the horrible
Right, yeah,
things
like
you can think
what was it, the letter to Corinth, where stepsons were having sex with their stepmothers.
yeah, kind
And they're
of
like, and they, and again, they did like the whole serpent thing where they like rationalized it. It was like, well, she's not really my mom.
yeah. It's yeah, it's we find ways to
They're pulling the Greg Brady.
yeah, I mean we find ways yeah, we as humans we find little ways to like rationalize the sins in our life, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean I'm guilty of that too, like
Yeah, I
we
mean, so
all
am I.
um
And I'm working on that every single day. I'm trying to die to myself a little bit more than the previous day. And sometimes I'm successful, sometimes I'm not. But again, the struggle is what brings strength.
right, and yeah, I see this and it's like I mean there's nothing new under the sun. It's just it's wrapped up in a different package, but
Mm-hmm.
it's the same it's the same evil that's trying to circumvent and control things, and but yeah, it was all Christian and church bashing and using the the young children meat shields that they have to just disgusting.
Yeah, and I mean,
But
it's using the gun of the state to, make people comply. That's all it
right.
is.
And but like I said, if it, the fact that there's he said, oh, other organizations and stuff like like there's anything else out there, but
Mm.
they were specifically talking about Christianity, like because
Of
that's the
course,
left
yeah,
is Christianity.
yeah. Beta, go to a mosque, go to a mosque, and call the congregation homophobes. I dare you.
So yeah, I mean that would be what I'm hoping is that someone will reporter worth his weight will actually go up and like ask that question. So like, obviously you were talking about like churches and all this stuff. What about you know, is um, Islamic temples and the mosques? Like, would they lose their status too under your ideas? And I guarantee they'll find a way to weasel out of that
Yeah,
answer.
he'd be backpedaling faster than Michael Jackson doing the moonwalk.
Now, guys like Beto who have no backbone, if he actually like said like, yeah, I was like, all right, well, hey, at least you're
Right.
consistent.
Yeah, I mean, if that happened, I would have been like, respects the respects the view, respects the beta
Like, all right,
aurora.
maybe you do have a spine somewhere.
I know, yeah. If he said, yeah, if that question was asked, like, well, okay, what about mosques? What about Muslims? Because in their holy book, they call homosexuality an abomination as well.
Yeah,
So will they lose their tax exempt status? And if he said yes, you know, straight up yes, any institution that that does not support LGBT, XYZ, then they'll lose their tax exempt status. I was like, okay, respects.
yeah,
You're still an idiot, but respects.
right. So I'm really hoping that some reporter worth his weight will kind of jam that question in
Mm.
their direction.